So talk to me about the corporate job and the shift. I mean, a lot of people work corporate while they're pursuing their dreams.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Sometimes the corporate takes over the dreams, and
Ooh,
sometimes the dreams take over the
take over the
job. So you
yeah.
got to talk to me because I could like really relate with that. So
Yeah, in my journey, the dream took over the corporate. But shout out to my corporate company because the whole time I was there, I was still DJing, I was still rapping, and they supported it. Like if we were viewed like we were on a local television show, they would like play it around the campus, which was pretty cool. So I've always I have no regrets for being there because they've always supported. I've DJ company events at the location. So that was really cool. They were a very supportive company. But one day, like I worked corporate America for 10 years and the Lord was like, but I complained about it after a while. I mean, it was an analyst job. You got out of college, that's what you want. You got a good desk job and you're doing what you love.
That's a good paying job too.
Yeah, it was. It was to miss it. But the point is, but I remember the funny thing though, I wanted it, but I guess I always still knew what I wanted in the back of my head. Because even the first thing I bought with my money, that like my first paycheck was like a whole little studio bundle.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I was like, so I definitely still wanted it. So that definitely was still in the back of my head. But I worked corporate America for 10 years and I would complain like the last probably 5 years. I had tried to shift. I ended up moving from San Antonio to DC to shift just to get a different atmosphere. And then Radio One was in DC, and I knew that. After 10 years, God was like, quit your job and move to Atlanta. First, he was like, move to Atlanta, and I was like, well, I was on the federal side of my job. I was like, well, there's no federal side of this job here. Like, I was like, I can't move to Atlanta, Lord, and keep my job. That's not gonna work. And so after confirmations and all that, I literally quit my job and I moved to Atlanta. And I was like, okay, cool. Here I'm gonna pursue radio and DJing. I have a company called Eclectic Music Enterprise. I was like, I'm gonna just go with it. I'm gonna register it. I'm gonna go ahead and step out of here on faith. Thank God for family who lived in Atlanta. But it just, I'm big on alignment with God. When things align, then I know that's him. So I asked my cousins, I was like, can I stay with y'all? They were like, yeah, come on. It was like too easy. I was like, okay, Lord, I guess But I mean, when I tell you God has opened some doors, and who knew a pandemic was coming? Like, I didn't know any of that was going to happen.
Right.
But God is amazing. He sustains, and God is good. I mean, he really is. No complaints.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to work hard, and trust me, it's an adjustment. Like I said, you lose that corporate money and that money that that's coming every 2 weeks. You're like, okay,
what am I going to do to get?
Yeah, what am I going to do to get this? Exactly.
Was there any emotions? I know, like when I left okay, talk to me about that. Like, were you like very excited? Were you scared? I mean, some people are so scared to like just leave a job knowing, I'm gonna get 2 weeks pay. This is guaranteed. I know what's going on every 2 weeks. I'm gonna start something new, and it might not take off till 3 months later, or 4 or 5 months, or even a year or 2 years. Like, what was your thought process?
Oh, I was I think I was going crazy. Like, it was so funny because my roommate at the time was my best friend, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna renew the lease, and she was like, what? And her dream, she sings opera. I was like, you saying you want to move to New York, and I moved to Atlanta. So we were like, we cried and prayed and all that together. Funny, the weekend we moved her to New York and I moved to Atlanta. But I mean, all types of feelings were going through. I'm like, Lord, what am I gonna do if I don't make it? Like, it's been trust me, since I've been here, it's been many a nights. I'm like, Lord, did I make the right decisions? It's been many of crying nights in the bed, like, Lord, I just ain't gonna make it. It has been many, many, many of those nights. As I say, this journey is not for the weak, and the weak at heart and the weak at faith. But one thing I will say is, I know people always say it's a cliche, God has never failed me yet. And I just say God has never failed me because he's not going to fail me. So I just keep out that yet perspective, because I'm like, okay, he's not gonna, if he told me and if I heard him correctly and these things are lining up, I have to know, I have to work on my crazy faith. And I do have some crazy faith. My family was like, you literally moved from city to city. I said, yeah, because I know God's got me. Like, trust me, it's been some nights where I'm just gonna pack up and go home. It's been some like, the ugly crying nights, like, and I'm an ugly crier. It's been some ugly crying nights, like, I just ain't gonna make it. God has sustained me. Like I said, I'll focus on that not yet part, because I know that he's not gonna fail me. But trust me, it's been some crying and some praying in this house. Sometimes my neighbors probably thought I was crazy.
No, that's real,
And I don't think it hit me till I got here. Like, I really just did this. Like, I literally just picked up and moved.
Big shift. And that's big. Like, you gotta be courageous to do that. A lot of people are not. So I applaud you on that.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. This is a struggle out here in these streets, though. But yes.
If you're enjoying the content you're watching right now, and you want to level up and create vibes at all the events you DJ at, well, make sure you subscribe to us right